President Trump has always had an interesting relationship with Coca-Cola. And by interesting we mean he loves it, which is why he's often never far from the tasty beverage. He can be seen with cans of the stuff at meetings or a bottle of two on the golf course. And this year, he even got his first ever presidential commemorative inaugural Diet Coke bottle from the CEO of the company himself. So perhaps it comes as no surprise that yesterday President Trump posted on Truth Social that because of him, Coca-Cola will be switching to real cane sugar in Coke in the United States. Coca-Cola has been using corn syrup for its products in the U.S. since the early 1980s. Coke has responded with neither confirming or denying in their statement, just saying that while they appreciate Trump's enthusiasm, it would have, quote, more details on new innovative offerings coming soon. Let's bring in editor-in-chief at Investopedia, Caleb Silver, to talk more about this. Look, Caleb, I'm from Atlanta. Like, Coca-Cola to me it was Atlanta's gift to the world. You know, I get it. And like at home, even all the time, we are always like, we want Mexican Coke in the glass bottles because it has real cane sugar. And most people I know are like, yeah, I like that version better. So I think a lot of people probably saw what President Trump said and thought, okay, fair. But talk to us about why is this happening? Because Health Secretary RFK Jr., he has had a lot to say about the products that are in food. Is that connected?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a part of the health secretary's Make America Healthy Again campaign. And he points the finger at additives in foods like high fructose corn syrup as contributing to obesity, diabetes, and other diseases. So he would like America's companies like Coca-Cola to stop using high fructose corn syrup. And in this case, the president weighing in on what is basically a business decision for Coca-Cola. People may prefer the taste of cane sugar, but it is more expensive to make Coca-Cola with cane sugar. They've been using high fructose corn syrup since 1985, as you mentioned. Why? Because there were subsidies for corn farmers that made that product a lot cheaper. And they've been doing this now for, 40 years. So making that change is going to be really tough.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to actually make some sort of switch like that, you're saying essentially we can't just bring the Mexican Coke that is already out there and distribute it on U.S. markets. How complicated would it be?
Yeah, it's a big change to the supply chain for Coca-Cola, which is a massive company, plus Coca-Cola Enterprises, the bottling and distribution part of Coca-Cola, plus labeling, new labels on Coca-Cola. All of that could cost hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars for Coca-Cola. And why make a change? They have the #1 soft drink in the world still. Diet Coke actually sometimes outsells Coca-Cola. So it's not just a simple change of changing the ingredient, change the entire supply chain, get new suppliers. And P.S., we don't make enough cane sugar here in America. We don't grow enough here in America. We'd have to import it from other countries. The biggest state with the most production of cane is Florida.
Do you think this is something that could actually happen? And if it does, how would it impact Coke's stock or economy as a whole? I mean, would corn refiners in the U.S. have a big problem?
Yeah, well, you've already heard from the corn lobby, and they really don't like the sound of this move at all. This is going to hurt their farmers. This is going to hurt their constituents. And it means we're actually going to have to import more from countries like Brazil that produce a lot of cane. Guess what? We have tariffs going into effect against Brazil upwards of 50%. So this is a confusing decision, and it's very interesting to see the president weighing in on a public or private company's business decisions in terms of its ingredients, but he is pushing the agenda of his health secretary at the same time.
Really interesting insight there. Caleb Silver, thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.